In this video, I will demonstrate to you how to navigate your Blackboard Ultra course. This is Professor Jacob. When you log into Blackboard, you're going to tap on the name of the class, CIT 105 Intro to Computers, which will bring you to this window where you see course content in the center of the screen and two areas, Start Here and My Assistant. For Start Here, this is the location where all academic content for this class appears. Each activity that is shared in this area is intended to help you achieve all learning outcomes for this class. So to begin, you want to tap on or click on the Start Here link to view each content item included in the Start Here area. So click on Start Here. When you clicked on Start Here, you always have at the very top the answer of why is Start Here actually appearing here. This is your purpose document for the Start Here area. So when you click on or tap this content item, why start here, step 1, it opens. And if you see a little symbol like this, a little purple symbol, this means that there is a conversation that has been posted, a comment from a student or even from Professor Jacob, to where you can get involved as a member of this learning community. So to open the Why Start Here, you're just going to click on Why Start Here. In each area, you're going to see a purpose statement. So the purpose of the Start Here area is to centralize all assignments, assessments, and discussion activities for this semester. So instead of listing many buttons on your left navigation menu, you have a set number of buttons on the left navigation menu, and in the center of Blackboard Ultra, you have your class content areas, meaning any instructions from your professor, any videos, any assignments, any reading assignments, any SimNet assignments, any videos for you to watch, any links for you to click on, any assignment drop boxes for you to turn in assignments. You just have to tap on it and read it. So the skills that you're going to learn in the Start Here area basically include how to find your required course materials. So if you read through the skills you will learn in this area and the knowledge that you will gain and the specific tasks you're going to be expected to accomplish in this area, read through all of that because it changes as you go into different areas. It should give you a very detailed understanding of what's going to happen in this area. Now, this image that appears in the criteria of Start Here, this actually should appear in your class syllabus as well. And I want to give a disclaimer about the mark reviewed. This syllabus and this image was actually generated before the semester began. And Blackboard Ultra is relatively new to Jefferson Community and Technical College, really all of KCTCS. So there is a handful of instructors or professors who are participating in a pilot program to test the new Blackboard Ultra. Professor Jacob is one of those professors or instructors that's participating in the pilot. That means to get started with using Blackboard Ultra and then to report out any problems that we've encountered. from an administrative or an instructor or professor perspective. So the mark reviewed is something that from the old version of Blackboard, which is Blackboard Learn, mark reviewed worked. Well, mark reviewed has been discontinued in the Blackboard Ultra experience. So I do apologize that you no longer see mark reviewed. Now, what can take place of the mark reviewed is in your class syllabus. There is a list of items or activities that you're expected to complete, and you could just go and mark on those specific content items or assignments and check off when you complete each one. That's basically what the mark reviewed button did. It's a self-check system. So basically, once you completed one activity, you clicked mark reviewed just to let your own self know that, hey, I'm finished with this particular activity. So if you print out the syllabus where you have pass-fail work and graded work, you can just mark it off as you go. Hopefully that makes sense. So at the bottom of this Why Start Here, your class syllabus for Intro to Computers was included as a Microsoft Word document. So you could double click on this link, or you could select the little 3 ellipsis, little period marks, and download the file. However you want to get that. Now, in order to participate in the discussion for this page, you may see a little colorful dot on the conversation call out balloon. That means that there is a new conversation that's been added or a new comment that's been added to the conversation. So let's click on that just to see what's going on. What new is happening since I was on here the last time. So there has been some busy activity. Let's click on show reply on both of these just to see what's going on. Show reply. Okay, so that is the latest posts or comments that have been made in this conversation. Now, this little button here, when you see this appears, that just means that you're reading the latest comments in this conversation. And if you want to refresh the conversation, you can to see if there have been any new comments made. So we're going to go back just by clicking on the X here next to Why Start Here. And we're going to click on the X again because we were inside the conversation. And this takes us back to the Start Here area. So now that we've already done Why Start Here, now we could move to the Getting Started in CIT 105. If you notice, this is a folder icon here. When you see a folder icon on Blackboard Ultra or Blackboard Learn, what that means is there's something else contained inside this folder. So some way, somehow, you have to click on this link on this folder and open it. So you have instructions that appear just below it. It says click the one Getting Started with CIT 105 link above to get started with this class before January 23rd, 2020. So we're going to click on that. And there we have our purpose of the Getting Started area. And in order to launch it, we have to click the purpose of getting started. to know more about the purpose of this area, the skills and knowledge you will gain in getting started. So let's go ahead and click on that. So the purpose of the Getting Started area is to get you on your way to achieving your goal of completing this class in the most efficient way possible. So there are certain skills that you're going to learn, including how to launch, view, and complete required lecture and discussion activities using VoiceThread. Learning how to communicate effectively is listed as one of the most effective communication skills by employers of our graduates and will help you enter the door to communicating effectively on a professional level. So you can read the rest of this page, the knowledge you will gain, the specific tasks of getting started, what you're expected to be able to accomplish in this area, some common icons that you may see on Blackboard Learn or Ultra, and then some important notes here. Basically saying the financial aid no-show report for this class. This is a federal requirement for each instructor or professor at any college or university to submit by a certain date. So on January 24th, first thing in the morning, Professor Jacob will look to see if you have completed the intro voice thread. This is the introductions voice thread that is in the Getting Started in CIT 105 area. If you've completed it by 11:59 p.m. on January 23rd, you're not going to have to worry about anything. You will not appear on the no-show list. Now, the purpose of the no-show list basically is for financial aid. If you're not on financial aid, then this does not affect you that much. Okay. Now, also, the next bullet point kind of focuses in on what you will be accomplishing in the class. This entire class starts and ends with VoiceThread. And the starting VoiceThread activities have date and time constraints on them. This is intentional to stimulate student engagement with the class. So when a semester begins, all students enrolled in the class should be actively engaged from the start. That means on day one. And to finish the class, each student must obtain their marching orders for VoiceThread and SimNet in order to activate the remainder of the class. So if you never get started, that next bullet point there, if you never get started, or if you are never engaged with the class and your instructor from the beginning of the semester, you will not be able to start this class mid-semester and must withdraw from the class. Being late impedes the learning of other people who have paid for the class. More importantly, being late demonstrates you are not able to manage yourself well enough to get yourself to your destination on time. Pretty much each activity on Blackboard and SimNet that is actually integrated with Blackboard has a time and date constraint on it. So more specifically, VoiceThread activities have a 14-day shelf life, and this is explained later on in step 1, Getting Started with CIT 105. From the day that your VoiceThread is posted, you have 14 days in which to become actively engaged with that VoiceThread, which is a discussion, whether it's a lecture discussion or an assessment, It is still a discussion between you and your professor and classmates, or just you and your professor. So you must understand that you have to be engaged with each voice thread within a 14-day window of it being posted. After that 14th day, on the 15th day, if you make a comment, that comment will receive a 0 grade. Back to start here and getting started. Getting started in CIT 105 is inside the Start Here area. The Start Here area is your content area. So we've went through the purpose of getting started, and now you're going to get instructions on how to use VoiceThread. VoiceThread is it's a cloud application that's integrated with Blackboard Ultra or Blackboard Learn that basically helps facilitate conversations, and to be able to engage with students and faculty, and for students to obtain credit for those engagements. Okay, so how to use VoiceThread. Whenever you see this little chain link, that means there's a video or some website that it's going to link you to. So make sure you view that in its entirety, because it's going to help you be successful with VoiceThread. So you want to do that before you actually go into the intro VoiceThread. This is where you're going to make your personal introduction. And you're expected to complete this activity no later than Thursday, January 23rd. So make sure you pay attention to those dates that appear on each activity and get it in before that date. Here you have a link that this is actually a video, but it takes you out to the McGraw-Hill or SimNet website, where there is a student who is going to actually walk you through how to set up your SimNet account from a student perspective. So you're getting kind of a peer-to-peer overview of SimNet. All right. Then a more detailed view from Professor Jacob. Here you have a voice thread. This is getting started with SimNet voice thread. Pretty much every voice thread that is posted, you're going to get some kind of credit for participating with it. So you really need to be engaged. Get on there and get started with these voice threads. Be actively engaged from the beginning. Okay. Now, this is a very important area because it tells you if you do not get started with this activity by Friday, January 31st, then your only option will be to withdraw from this class. So you really need to get on there and get started. Then in each area, in each folder, at the bottom of each folder, you have a learner's exit slip. Okay, so this is for the Getting Started with CIT 105 area. Now, you're going to click on the link to let Professor Jacob know your personal thoughts really about the entire area, your experience using the various links in this area. Did you find it helpful? Were you able to understand what it is that Professor Jacob wants you to do? And are you able to apply the knowledge? Okay, so let me go ahead and launch this learner's exit slip. Each exit slip basically has the same 4 questions on it, but have different backgrounds and of course a different name. Okay, so at the very top, you're given the purpose of the exit slip, and the value to you as a learner. Please read through that because it's going to make much more sense to you as you go through. Then you're going to rate your current level of understanding of the area. Okay, with 4 being the highest, you understand everything and you can apply the knowledge. 3, you understand everything, but you're not sure. You can apply the knowledge. Meaning, the only thing really in the getting started area is VoiceThread. Okay. Do you feel like you have a firm understanding of what VoiceThread is and how to make your comment? Do you know how to reply to another student and their initial comment? If you do, then 4 is going to be your option, or 3 because you understood that area. Then the second one is, what is one big understanding that you got from this area? This is going to change. There's no right or wrong. This is your perspective, your personal perspective. What did you gain from this area? Okay. And then number 3, what are you most confused about? So if you're not confused about anything, then you just type NA for not applicable. If you are confused about something, you're going to tap into this area where it says enter your answer, and you're going to provide in complete sentence structure the details as to what you're confused about. Now, the whole purpose of this is to give Professor Jacob some feedback on your personal experience. Because how I take that information is when you tell me that there are problems, I will go and I will look at that area and see if there's any way that I can improve how I communicated to you what you need to do in that area. So these exit slips are extremely important because I take what you say seriously and they actually mean something to me today, not next semester after you're out of the class. And then, of course, at the end, if you have any suggestions for future activities, maybe you think, I should have had something else in there. If you do, get in that area and actually type in complete sentence structure. What you think should go in that area and why. Be very detailed. And if you would like to get a receipt of all of your responses in numbers 1 through 4, you click on this little checkbox and then you click submit. What will happen after that is you will receive an email on your KCTCS student email account that will basically summarize all of the responses that you had on this form. All right. So then after that, you close this little tab. It takes you back to Blackboard. And then you're basically finished with the Getting Started in CIT 105 area. You tap on it to collapse the area. And then you move on to number 2, studying in college. When you tap on it or click on it, then you see all of the things that are in that folder for you to complete. Now, I will tell you that there are several short videos about the Shovel app and using the Shovel app. And then you are linked to the How to Study in College website. They are the ones that are behind the Shovel app. And then you are going to come into the Shovel time schedule and you're going to provide your screenshot of your Shovel time schedule, your study time schedule in this assignment Dropbox. So let's click on that. So basically, each student is to upload a single screenshot picture file of your Shovel app study time schedule in a browser window. And to do so, you're going to use Control V to paste it into the Microsoft Paint program. Okay. So where were the instructions for that? Well, If you go back to the purpose, remember the purpose sets the tone for this area. So there should be some details as to how to accomplish everything that you need to accomplish to be successful in this area. If you look here in the tasks, you want to view each of the videos and, take notes and then review those notes. Then you're going to navigate to the How to Study in College website. You're going to follow the instructions to create a Shovel account for yourself. You're going to gather every class syllabus from all of your college classes for this semester, your work schedule from every job or place of employment you currently work, and every other activity schedule that you have committed to between January 13th, 2020 and May 10th, 2020. So you're going to plan your daily activity schedule from breakfast, lunch, dinner, college classes, study time, personal time. Okay. All of that is going to fit on your calendar. And remember, your study time for each college class is 8 hours per week for each class. So if you have 5 classes, that means that you are setting aside 40 hours a week to study for those classes. All right. So you're going to provide the Shovel app with all your categorized time commitments in each class to include assignment due dates, special due dates for class projects, and scheduled dates for exams or pre-exams, any study group appointments, and any personal appointments that you have already committed to. Now, for this class, we do not have any exams or pre-exams. The only requirement in this class is VoiceThread and projects. One deviation from that was the Shovel app study time schedule, and that is because I could not get VoiceThread to accept picture images for some reason, unless I gave you the ability to create a VoiceThread from scratch, and that was just too problematic to do. So I do apologize for that. So then the criteria, okay? So this gives you the expectations and examples of when you have met the expectations in this area. So what does that mean? When you have successfully completed setting up your Shovel app study time schedule, you will take a screenshot. And if you look on your keyboard, there is a print screen key on your keyboard that basically takes a picture of your current window, the entire window, not just, where it says welcome to student preview and down. I want the entire window, your tabs, your title bar, your minimize, maximize, restore button, all the way down to the time or the clock on your taskbar and the start button. Okay. So I want you to take a picture, not with your cell phone, but with your computer, using the print screen key. When you use the print screen key, it doesn't immediately show you anything. But when you open the Microsoft Paint program and use the keyboard combination Control V, then what happens is Control V pastes your screenshot that you use the print screen key to take a picture. It pastes it in Microsoft Paint. From there, you save the file, give it a meaningful name, and here is what you should come up with, okay, or something similar. Okay, it should look something like this. Okay, it won't be exact because this is, another student's from a previous semester, their study time schedule. Now, it doesn't show your name or anything, okay, but this is what a successful one would look like. Okay. Now, if you scroll down, keep going down the page, you're going to see what a not so successful setup of the shovel app looks like. So this here actually could be done in Microsoft Excel. There's really no way for me to tell that this is shovel. So I don't want your shovel study time schedule to look like this. So use the first one as the model. Okay. But again, I want to see your taskbar, the little black bar at the bottom that has the time and date stamp. Okay. As well. All right. So your task is to turn in a successful shovel app study time schedule. All right. So from there, we're going to close and go back to the studying in college area. Okay. That folder. So we've just viewed the purpose of studying in college. Now we're going to view each one of these videos. Okay, they're going to help you to do well in setting up your shovel study time schedule. Hopefully, all of this makes perfect sense to you. If not, you can view the videos a couple of times. They are YouTube videos, so you should be able to be transported over to the YouTube website. Sorry about having to go over to the YouTube website, but there's really no way around that on this new rendition of Blackboard at this time. All right. So at the end, you're going to see another exit slip, and this exit slip has to do with the studying in college area. All right. So just like the previous exit slip, you're going to fill out those 4 questions and submit, and you're finished with that area. And when you're finished with the area, you just tap on it to collapse it, and you're ready to go to the next area. Now, if you ever see this content isn't available, I'm in student preview and I haven't submitted anything here. But if you ever see this, what this means is you have not finished what's in step 1 and step 2. Okay, or folder 1 and folder 2. So in order to get into folder 3, you have to have completed all of what's in both of these folders. And what happens is all of that completion activity basically activates the 3rd folder. Of course, there are more folders. You have in total 7 folders for the semester. After introductory computing concepts, you have introductory database concepts, introductory spreadsheet concepts, introductory presentation concepts, and introductory word processing concepts. And that's it. Okay. But in those other folders, those other 4 folders, you have the SimNet projects. So you're going to be busy on the SimNet projects, and you're going to be busy inside VoiceThread viewing lectures. Some of the lectures will be video based. Some will be like a PowerPoint slideshow, but in VoiceThread. And so we are going to be very engaged this semester. That's the whole point to the class, is to be engaged from start to finish. Now, let me collapse the Start Here area and let me show you the My Assistant area, okay? Because this is going to benefit you. So if you need help, say for instance, if you don't understand something that appears in Start Here and you need clarification from Professor Jacob, you can click on Help with Start Here. When you do that, a window opens and it basically tells you that you can copy this subject that appears here, which is CIT 105. It gives your class and section number, and it tells me exactly what you need help with. So you can copy that, do a Control-C on your keyboard, and go over to your KCTCS email, launch your email, create a new message, in the to field, you're going to type my name, and that is sherry.jacob@kctcs.edu. That is my email address that appears in the syllabus. Okay. Now, if you have received any email from me in the past, you may see this little already completed email address with my Jefferson handle, basically. And you can then click on it and it'll automatically put my picture and my name there with Jefferson behind it. Then you're going to come here to the subject line and you're going to do a Control-V to paste the subject. Well, I didn't copy it. I just highlighted it. So right click, copy, add a subject, and there we are. Then you tell me, Professor Jacob, in the Start Here area, I am having this problem. And then you detail, and it has to be detailed because I'm not sitting at your home or at your job with you. I need to know details. So give me details, explain it as good as you can of what's going on and what exactly is it that you need. Then you use the send button and it comes to me and I will address your email. So that's one way to do it. Okay, so that's kind of the long way around. Let me show you a shortcut. Going back to Blackboard Ultra, or you could just click this link here. When you click this link, what happens is it automatically creates the email for you. Okay, it fills out my name in the to field, it fills out the subject, and it even gives you a start to type your message. So when it comes up, you'll see it here. You see how it filled out my information? It filled out the subject already. And the only thing you have to do here is come here and detail after the word with, take a space, and begin to type. Just as simple as that. And then you send it, and your email will come to me. So that's the short way around in this area. So you have 4 different areas in which you can have questions about. Start Here, VoiceThread, any SimNet activities, and of course with the Blackboard Gradebook. If you need any clarification on any of your grades or feedback that I've provided for you, these pretty much all look the same except the VoiceThread. The VoiceThread is a document that gives you an overview of VoiceThread and things that you should consider while using VoiceThread. And sometimes you may have to clear your browser history. It gives you that information. Okay, the recommended browser for this class is Google Chrome. So if you don't have Google Chrome yet on your computer, they are installed, or Chrome is installed on every computer on campus, but you can go to chrome.com. It's a free installation. Okay. And the button's right there, download Chrome. And you can get the application right away. Okay. Now let me show you what Chrome looks like so that you can recognize it. It is a colorful wheel. It has red, green, and yellow, and it has Google Chrome as the name of the application. It should be on your desktop. Hopefully this makes sense. If you require anything further, please let me know. Hopefully this video will step you through how to be successful accessing the content of this class in the Start Here area and using the My Assistant area. One other point, you do have announcements that will appear. All right. Now, I've made probably 4 announcements. You're going to have new announcements that are going to be appearing as more content becomes available. And so you can look at the archive of all of the announcements that I made. The first one is at the bottom of the list. Okay, it gives you a time and date stamp that the announcements were made or posted. So as new content becomes available, you'll get a message kind of like this: new content getting started, new content studying in college, new content introductory computing concepts. So you'll get, for the other 4 folders, when that content becomes available, you will get an announcement that will say, this is now available for you to complete or participate with. All right. Hopefully this video is thorough enough for you to get a good start with completing class activities for CIT 105, Introduction to Computers, the fully online class with Professor Jacob. Thank you for viewing the video, and good luck to you for the rest of the spring 2020 semester.